In this video, we are going to look at the desert ecosystem, which is a type of an ecosystem. And desert ecosystem, it is an ecosystem which receives very less rainfall throughout the year. And desert ecosystem, it is one of the most areas in which it receives very little precipitate, meaning it receives very little amount of rainfall. We have desert ecosystem have different types, and the following are types of desert ecosystem. 1. Hot and dry ecosystem. 2. Coastal desert ecosystem. 3. Cold desert ecosystem. 4. Semi-arid desert ecosystem. On hot and dry desert ecosystem, hot and dry desert ecosystem have hot and dry climatic conditions in which the air has very low annual rainfall, and on top of that, the temperature that is found in desert ecosystem sometimes may vary, meaning to say that it may be of high or low. Another type of desert ecosystem is the coastal desert ecosystem. And in coastal desert ecosystem, these are ecosystems that are found near the coastlines of big water bodies. An example of big water bodies, we have oceans and seas. And these desert ecosystems, they are affected by ocean currents. Another type of desert ecosystem is the cold desert ecosystem. This desert ecosystem, it is comprised of abundant rainfall throughout the winter and less in the summer, which means that this type of ecosystem, it receives heavy rainfall in the winter and less amount of rainfall in summer times. These desert ecosystems, they are usually covered by snow dunes, and in addition to that, the desert ecosystem can also be found in Greenland. Finally, semi-arid desert ecosystem as a type of ecosystem. This kind of desert has hard rock, stable ground, less sand dunes, and this desert ecosystem, it looks very similar to hot and dry desert ecosystem. And in addition to that, it also receives a lot of rainfall as compared to normal desert ecosystem. We have characteristics of desert ecosystem or features of desert ecosystem. 1. Extreme temperature. 2. Soil quality. 3. Less rainfall. 4. Water scarce. On extreme temperature, this type of ecosystem, it is usually experience extreme hot or cold temperature during day and night. Therefore, the day sometimes may happen to be hot, while nights may sometimes extremely be cold. Another feature of desert ecosystem is soil quality, meaning that the soil that are found in the desert ecosystem, they are rock, dry, and sandy. In addition to this type of the soil that are found in the desert ecosystem, they make low growth rate of they facilitate the low growth rate of the vegetation. Another feature or characteristics of desert ecosystem is less rainfall. Usually, desert ecosystem receives seasonal rainfall that occurs for small duration, meaning that in this ecosystem, the amount of the rainfall that falls into the desert ecosystem is of less amount. Finally, water scarcity as a characteristics of desert ecosystem. In the desert ecosystem, there is a scarcity of water in the desert since it receives less rainfall. Then the shortage of water makes the desert to experience drought. Structure of desert ecosystem. We have a biotic component and a biotic component. On a biotic component, this includes all the nutrients that are present in the soil and the aerial environment. And the abiotic component, in abiotic component there is a lack of organic matter and the scarcity of water. Another structure of desert ecosystem is biotic, and in biotic we have three categories, namely producers, consumer, and decomposer. On producers, these are simply grasses or trees, meaning to say that they are able to produce their own food. And in addition to that, these species that are under producers, they are able to store water. Secondly, we have consumer. On consumer, we have primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. On primary consumer, the primary consumer, they feed on grasses directly. For example, we have cow. Then we have secondary consumer. On secondary consumer, these are carnivores, or these are organisms that feed on primary consumers, or in other words, they depend on the primary consumers. For example, we have snakes and frogs. Tertiary consumer, these are organisms that feed on the secondary consumers. For example, we have the insects, reptiles, for example, we have insects and reptiles. Finally, on the biotic, we have decomposers. These are organisms that feed on dead organisms. Due to poor vegetation, the dead organic matter is very less, which makes the decomposers to decrease. And examples of organisms that fall under decomposers, we have bacteria and fungi. Finally, let's look at the functions of desert ecosystem. Function of desert ecosystem: 1. Serves as a habitat to different species. Desert ecosystem serves as a habitat to different species of animals, and these animals are able to adapt to the environment. 2. Acts as a carbon sink. For example, scientists have found that the bacteria that are living in Africa's Kalahari Desert helps to store the carbon dioxide from the air. 4. It contributes to the production of salt. And finally, it also provides natural gas and oil, including some minerals. Reaching this far, this video has provided information on desert ecosystem.